Okay, so over the weekend, everybody's been going crazy. But first, I want to say hello and welcome. My name is Mark from Tech ISA. Um, we're going to talk about that guy. Alright, so everybody's bailing for the likes of Signal, which I've first of heard now. There's so much of these things out there, and then, of course, Telegram. And I need to explain to people that if you're worried about Mark Zuckerberg or Facebook as a company as a whole that purchased WhatsApp for, I may be wrong, but something like $16 billion short few years ago. So a lot of money for an app that was mostly free for South Africa, but it was paid for in the States, for example. An application that's been around for about 10, 11 years, and I've had it for about 10, 11 years, and I've always used it. And people are bailing WhatsApp for the mere fact that they think the information is going to get stolen. Well, there has been laws in place, especially considering it through Europe, and Google has been targeted by Europe on this as well in the past for information. So what happens is because of the policies that are out there legally and law-wise, it had to have been updated. It has to update. These are the things. However, I'm going to elaborate because a lot of fake talks about it, about getting your bank details and that. It's not possible. Um, your bank cannot unauthorized things. It's not possible unless you're giving your information away completely like that to someone to use. But no one on WhatsApp, Facebook can see your messages. It is encrypted. It has been stated so about a year or two ago where everything is encrypted. There was major updates on that. And they keep updating these encryptions and that, unless someone hacks the whole database like in the past with many websites and many services. Um, okay, so what's happening is this is the following. Let's just see if I can bring it up here. Alright, so this is the policy that's going to be in place. It was last modified January 4th, 2021. And what's going to happen is on the 8th, if you don't agree to it and you've got your pop up on your phone, then that's what's going to happen. So, what it is that if you live outside the European region, WhatsApp LLC, which is their version of PTY, provides service to you and so on. And basically, it explains what do they collect and so on and so forth. So this is just an explanatory, basic explanatory. Information we collect. This is now obviously for WhatsApp. WhatsApp must receive or collect some information to operate, provide, improve, understand, customize, support, and market our services, including when you install, access, or use of our services. So what that means is, if you want to use WhatsApp, you're going to provide information, as in your cell phone number, to utilize the application. You're going to be able to give permission to download the application. The application cannot just be put onto your phone. They can't force this onto your device, your cell phone, your tablet, or your computer, for example. The types of information we receive and collect, depending on how you use our service, we require certain information to deliver our services, and without this, we were not able to provide our services to you. For example, you must provide your phone number to create an account to use the service. This is obvious. This is actually nicer because in order to hack your WhatsApp, you need to steal someone's number, and it's not as easy as it sounds for people from outside the country and such. This only happens if you are, let's say, for example, Vodacom or the MTN client, not naming in a bad way, just saying as an example, and somebody does fraudulent activities by frauding your identity documents and so on and so forth on a contract or prepaid or whatnot, and they meet the requirements that the store clerk needs to do a SIM swap, as in they provided the 5 to 10 dial numbers, they provided the a falsified SIN certification or anything like that, affidavit, you name it. And of course, ID, which in this country, that's what the smart IDs were for, to help prevent fraud, although it's not always 100% guaranteed, and this is not unproven. So what happens is that the only way for that to be hacked is somebody has to do a SIM swap, And with that SIM swap, then they go after your bank details and such. I don't think they care so much about your WhatsApps unless they're looking for more targets and what other information that you receive through WhatsApp. So what it is saying is that it needs your telephone number to access this. Because if it was like an email address, like a username, password, or email addresses are vulnerable. Whether you're using Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, Live, you name it, it is always going to have some sort of vulnerabilities unless you put in some 20 character password and you change it every 30 days or so, which is probably the best way to do it, most annoying way to do it. And with that being said, is it's not as easy, and there's even security encryption that you can put on. So, like mine, for example, I have a passcode. So every time I switch my phone on, or I'm not, haven't put it in a while, WhatsApp will pop up and go, put in your PIN, and I put in my what's it, 6-digit PIN code, and there you go. Then you can access it. If you don't have it, you can't access it. And I know it, and the phone, let's say it has a fingerprint scanner, it will not use it for to bypass that. If it has the face scanner, it will not use that to bypass that. So basically, this is what they're saying: is that just basic things that was always there. Um, where was I? Our service optional features. Okay, our service and optional features, which, if used by you, require us to collect additional information to provide such features. You will be notified of such collections as appropriate. If you choose not to provide the information needed to use a feature, you will be unable to use the feature. For example, you cannot share your location with your contacts if you do not permit us to collect your location data from your device. Permissions can be managed through your settings menu on both Android or iOS device. So what that means, say a friend is coming over to your house and they have not been at your current location before, you can basically say share location. In order for that to do that, especially on iPhone and Android, it will actually ask you most times, especially iPhone, if you've not set it, do you wish this app to collect or share information with this app with the GPS? So you say yes. So the only time it will use it is when you give it permission to. It will not get that information without your approval. That's basically what they're saying. So if you don't give it permission to track your GPS in order to get your location, it's not going to be able to do it because it hasn't got access to that piece of software and hardware on your phone, device, or computer. I don't think you can do it on the computer. And besides, you can just Google Map on that. There is a workaround on that. You can go on Google Maps, pin drop wherever you are, share that link, and it will accept it either way because you're just sharing a link. Information you provide. Your account information must provide your mobile phone number and basic information, including profile name of your choice. So they don't even care if you put in your username, a name that your wife, husband, whoever gives you, like a nickname, to create a WhatsApp account. If you do not provide us with this information, you'll not be able to create an account to use our services. You can add other information to your account, such as profile picture and about information, which is helpful. And I think this is more aimed at people creating fake accounts for scams and things like that. So if they don't provide any information, it makes it a little bit more dodgy and things. So they force them just to put something up there. Um, Something is better than nothing. And if I'm going to be receiving messages, I'd like to see who it is. Even if I don't have that number, the app still tells me a name that that person has provided to WhatsApp. Profile picture is optional by the looks of it, so it's not a must. And besides, there are settings for privacy on that. Your messages. We do not retain your messages in in ordinary course of providing our services to you. Instead, your messages are stored on your device and not typically stored on our servers. Once your message is delivered, they are deleted from our servers. The following scenarios describe the circumstances where we store your messages in course for delivering them. Undelivered messages. If a message cannot be delivered immediately, for example, if the recipient is offline, we keep it encrypted keep it in encrypted form on our service for up to 30 days as we try and deliver it. If a message is still undelivered after 30 days, we delete it. Now this is an automatic system. Does the same goes with SMSs. You send an SMS from your phone, goes to, let's say, for example, Vodacom, MTN, or wherever. There's little servers that's set up in Midrand or in Cape Town, and basically gets stored onto that server. And once it is then checked, as in terms of it gets checked basically to see that it's going to a correct number. It is going to, of course, and then it gets pushed through. It does not really get stored, as far as I understand. So what WhatsApp is doing is that the information has to go. It's not peer-to-peer, so it has to go to a server. The server receives the messages and really pushes it out in a push form. So there's no real delays. It's just immediately to you. So it basically just pings you. If you're offline, for example, and basically the sender only gets one tick, then it's on the server. So whether your phone is off or anything and their phone is on, they will then receive it. Then it gets out of their server and pushed through to their device, to the recipient's device. Media forwarding. When a user forwards media within a message, we store the media temporarily encrypted form on our servers to aid in a more efficient delivery of additional forwards. It's kind of weird. So that gets forwarded. It's the same thing as the messages. Gets sent up and it's encrypted. Of course, nobody can see it. Encryption works that way, and it just gets forwarded. I believe it just duplicates the code that was written where you've got it, and then just moves it forward and just add additional code to say that it is forward, basically. We offer end-to-end encryption on our services. End-to-end encryption means that your messages are encrypted to protect against us and third parties from reading them. Learn more about end-to-end so that you can follow up and how business communicates with you on WhatsApp, which I'll briefly explain. Your connections you can use to contact upload. You can use the contact upload feature and provide us, if permitted by applicable law, with the phone numbers in your address book on a regular basis, including those users, our services, and other contacts. If any of your contacts aren't using the services, we'll manage this information for you in a way that ensures those contacts cannot be identified by us. Sorry, my reading's bad sometimes. Learn more about the contact upload feature here. You can create, join, or get added to groups and broadcasting lists, and such groups and lists get associated with your account information. You give your group's name, you provide a group profile picture. Alright, so basically it's basically just stating normal stuff. So for them to be able to know that you on WhatsApp, they do read your numbers. The application does scan through your contact list. It actually just adds it to its own little contact list on your device. And so if your contact, you don't know about it, has WhatsApp, WhatsApp knows about it. It links you two together so you can be able to chat should you ever need to. It does not really keep much on that. Status information. You may provide us with your status if you choose to include one of on your account. Learn how to use the status. I'm not sure what KaiOS is. I'll look into that. Transactions and payment data. If you use our payment services, I don't think this applies to South Africa, to be honest. If you use our payment services or use a service meant for purchase or other financial transactions, we process additional information about you, including payment account and transaction information. Payment account and transaction information includes information needed to complete the transaction. For example, information about your payment method, shipping details, and a transaction amount. If you use our payment services available in your country or territory, our policy practices are described in the applicable payment privacy policy. So, like I said, that really doesn't much apply to you, but basically it's the same if you're buying anything online. You're providing some sort of information. You're buying it on Takeout, for example, they reroute you to Yoco, or if you're paying with card, and you're providing Yoco with information in order to process your card payments. So you're going to give them your front card, your details of the card, the back of the card, your billing address and such. This is mostly to prevent fraud or anything like that. It is a ruling. And then of course your name and surname, or initial and surname, whoever is the card holder. And only Yoco has that information for record, and I, as a merchant, would then only see the transaction. I do not get to see the card numbers, but the same with these guys. Nobody gets to see the card numbers, so you don't have to stress about anybody seeing card information. And besides, if you don't trust card payments, then you deal with EFT. Customer support and other communications. When you contact us for customer support or otherwise communicate with us, you may provide us with information related to your use of service, including copies of your messages or any other information deemed helpful. How to contact you. Example, an email address. For example, you may send us an email with information relating to app performance and others. So if you have an issue and you need assistance, you're going to have to provide them with some sort of information. So let's say I open WhatsApp. WhatsApp basically gives me some sort of error code. I'm going to have to provide them a telephone number and the error code. And then they're obviously going to ask questions of what device do I have? I have an iPhone 11, 128 gig or whatnot. And okay, what is your iOS version? My iOS version is 13 point whatnot. And I tell you, okay, cool. Can you please update your OS? So this actually is a problem because of that. So this is how they get information to assist you. Automatic collect information. Usage log information. We collect, okay, this is getting long. Okay, so basically this just becomes the normal norm. So what the main changes is basically the information that they collect. So they also speak about companies, how you deal with companies. US, if you message a company, for example, and to me, okay, so this goes to this or to the PC version because it's linked, and you message me, hi, I am looking for a MSI motherboard B550. Okay, cool, I can provide you with this. The information that I get from you is your contact details, much like anything, and I add labels to your contact to keep track of what's happening. Should you provide even more information over the WhatsApp, that's fine. And the company is its own little policy, so we can choose to share or anything with third parties, which I don't because I do not believe in it. So our privacy policy, you can have a look. I do not share privacy with anybody else. You buy anything from me, it's private. Don't talk about it. I don't mention names. Nothing like that. You are you. You do your thing. I do my thing. Simply put. So it's the same goes with WhatsApp. And if you're messaging a business, so they say that businesses can use it with third parties because, and we do not use this, is that there are third party applications through websites. So you can message the site through a little pop up, and it basically is going through a third party. That said company, it can pay for always using free to get this information, so they can actually help you with anything else. And that third party they're using may, depending on their policy that you would have to agree on before you start using the feature, can sell your information or whatever the case is. And that you would have to now what they're saying is you have to speak to that company and find out what is your privacy policy on this regard. So the company will tell you, no, we do not share any information or anything like that, and it is their job to make sure that their third parties do not collect any other information, and are they liable, and so on and so forth. So with that being said, everybody's moving over to Telegram. Signal, for example. Now, Telegram I have used. Telegram reminds me of WeChat. WeChat is a neat little application, and I may be wrong, from China, like similar to what QQ was, I think it is, from back in the day. And you can find people around you, so you can chat with neighbors and things like that. People you didn't even know that were like neighbors. And there's a pro and a con to the whole thing. So it's not safe for kids. I'm just going to straight up say that. Because you don't know who's around you. You might be in an okay area and there are some bad elements and so on and so forth. And this is everywhere. Your kids can be chatting to people that are way older than they should be chatting to. Things like that. And then Telegram's more or less the same. There are apparently some added features, and Telegram has groups that you can again scan in your area, and I've not found anything really decent, worthwhile actually checking. There was a lot of porn flying around, a little dodgy here and there sales, and this can go with WhatsApp as well. It's not to say that WhatsApp is perfectly clean, although those groups can be reported. Whether they get taken down or not, I do not know. I do not affiliate with those. So it's out there, anything. But I do not feel that I feel WhatsApp is actually a lot safer. However, depending, you as a parent, for example, will have to monitor. It's your job to monitor your kids, of course, as I am with my kid. Um, she's too young, so she's not getting a phone anytime soon. Thank God. So with that being said, everybody's moving to Telegram and Signal, and I read about Signal a little bit, where I think his name is Edward Snowden. He uses it, and he hasn't been arrested. Later, he's alive. So one of the most wanted people from information leaking is using it. So yeah, okay, fine. Everybody can go there, no problem. Just bear in mind that in South Africa, most people use WhatsApp, but like much, it was BBM. If BBM was still around, people would probably just flock to BlackBerry again. Uh, Paid service, but really good service ish when it comes to instant messaging. Just really slow network. That was the downfall of BBM on that. Then the fact that apparently, and I may be wrong, but I've been hearing, and I've never really tested it, Telegram can take quite a lot more data. So if you worry about data, WhatsApp takes very little data, unless you getting flocked of images and videos and things like that. Depending on your device, iOS, I know you can do it, and I'm pretty sure you can do it on Android, where you don't have to download every single thing. You can choose and permit what you want to see and download. So you're just getting text information, which is very, very small, kilobytes of information, not even. So my advice is don't just run away from WhatsApp. It's up to you, of course. We will stop using WhatsApp when nobody messages us with WhatsApp. That's when Tech ISA will remove WhatsApp off its choice of communication, email, phone, then WhatsApp, and I think it's neat. Um, in terms of security, yeah, I think everything could be upgraded in general. That's just me personally. But again, once more time, WhatsApp is not stealing your information. Nobody can just steal your information. The only thing that's stealing your information is Google and Facebook for marketing reasons. And I'm not saying stealing because it's a bit of a strong word. So, TV, for example. When you switch on a smart TV for the first time, you get asked, do you want to read through terms and conditions? And I actually did that when I bought this TV a while back. So, in one of the clauses, it can use your usage to monitor what you watch so it can provide market information. So this market information is basically put you in somewhere so that a company, let's say for example, Nickelodeon, kid cartoon, and go, this is parents. They have a child. This child likes Blaze, the monster machine. So then they'll have a demographic information and they go, you know what? Between all these households worldwide, a lot of people like this and a lot of people like that. Let's produce more of this and less of that. They have, of course, other information, but then you can maybe see things. And I have tested where TV actually does listen to you. Was working at the Unwired, and we were talking about certain music videos. And you go to the Google, YouTube, sorry, and while you're searching, that search is right there before I finish typing the first word. That means it's listening to you. And we've tested it out without saying it, just writing it down. Can't hear us, can't read us on that. So your smart TVs, your mobile phones, all these apps are listening briefly with, I think it's voice to text the way it's doing it, and Facebook especially. You do get applications on your PC, for example, to block such things. You can use encrypted web browsers, things like that. Firefox is a block of pop-ups that I use that actually prevents my Facebook chat messenger to actually pop up on my own website. So I use Chrome to see if it's working. That's fine with me. I'm using all these browsers just to make sure that everything's running perfectly. And with that being said, some websites actually don't allow you to access the site if you don't stop your blocks. That actually just says something. So I don't even trust them because if you want me to have pop-ups, I'm sorry, I can't deal with it. I'm not a big fan of pop-ups in fan. No one is. Every time you go on a website on your phone, you're providing cookie information. Another website that maybe is a little bit dodgy that you shouldn't be on, that has been hacked, and it's taking cookies from your device and actually gets the information of where you've been to provide more marketing or anything like that. So if you really want to get off WhatsApp, you may as well get off completely of social media and everything else. Facebook, for example, collects information to sell your products. No, it's to sell businesses you. So if I'm paying for an ad, I need to know the demographic that I'm going to sell to. So if I'm making an ad, whether it be 100 rand or 1,000 rand or 10,000 rand, and I'm going to go, listen, I'm selling laptops. I need a target, so I can put an area, gender, age, things like that, and go, okay, people that like this, people that like Acer, people that like Asus, people that are in IT technology field, people that are teachers. That's what the demographic feature is when you make an ad. And Facebook basically collects some information of people. For that, they don't tell me who it is. They just put it out there. It's a sponsored post. It can be very vague. You could put hundreds of things to remotely target you. So every company that does ads has to basically select the target. You can let Facebook do it automatically either way, and then Facebook will do it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it completely misses the ball, and so that's why I don't like doing ads on Facebook anymore. And like I said, Facebook cannot just see your information. They don't see it the way you and I will see it on a piece of paper. They will not see, oh, Mark here, he likes going on to Google and he likes going to Tech Guy Say. Anytime I own the damn thing. Okay, so let's see what Tech Guy says. So yeah, and that's basically it. He likes to go to Steam and check on sales all the time. Funny enough, I don't actually get ads on Steam, so there's another thing there. Steam isn't exactly selling the information to Facebook for certain things. So, with that being said, I'm still going to use WhatsApp. It's perfectly fine. Um, it's only when they start telling you they'll collect information for marketing purposes, which they have not stated, as far as I know, on this. Where am I now? So, as far as I understand, marketing. Okay, let's see. What do they say? Communication about your services and the Facebook companies, where we use information to we have to communicate to you about our services, let you know about terms, policies, and important updates. Remember, provide you with marketing for our services and those Facebook companies. Business interactions, what I was talking about earlier. We enable you and third parties like businesses to communicate and interact with other each other using our services such as catalogs. So a person can have a WhatsApp business number and then they can put a catalog, for example, for business on WhatsApp, through which you can browse products and services and place orders. Businesses may send you transactions, appointments, and shipping and notifications. Pro- Product and services updates in marketing. For example, you may receive flight status information of upcoming travel, a receipt for something you purchase, or a notification when your delivery will be made. Messages you receive from a business could include an offer for something that might interest you. We do not want you to have a spammy experience. Okay. As with all of your messages, you can manage these communications and we will honor the choices you make. I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but that's basically it. So they're not saying we're going to take your information on WhatsApp and actually sell it off to third party or anything like that. So that's the basic thing. If they're saying that they're going to, that's when you should have a problem with it. And there is an option on Facebook for that to stop as well. Briefly, it also kills away certain permissions that you might not even ever use. So what it is that a business can use you for marketing. So you message me, hey, do you want to opt in a broadcast list, so on and so forth? Push it through. Um, if you're getting harassed by a business, there apparently looks like there's a feature to block that. I'm not sure what it is. We'll look into that, but I don't plan on spamming anybody soon. You come to me. I don't have to like send you 1,000 messages. It's fine. You can look on social media for posts and things like that, and of course our blog, which this will be on. This is on. So with that being said, I hope I didn't bore anyone. Not used to this interaction. It's interesting. But that being also said, is that you should not worry about fake media news. Yes, it's on Facebook. Yes, Donald Trump has been banned from social media. He does post a lot of nonsense sometimes. We're not going to get into that. We're not politics. We're in South Africa. It's about South Africa. And what does it mean for you on WhatsApp change your policy? Well, they're just keeping up to date with what they were supposed to be doing or what they are doing. Um, I've got the feeling that a lawyer came up to them and told them, listen, there's a little clause. There may be an issue for future. So they obviously changed it and they're forcing everybody to move over. So that's why you get the pop up on all your accounts that you have of WhatsApp. That being said, thank you for watching, and I hope that we've all learned something. Don't listen to fake news where your information is going to get stolen. Mark Zuckerberg is going to get you. If you've got nothing to hide, don't stress. If you've got something to hide, yeah, okay, fine, I can understand that. But no, everybody shouldn't just jump on the bandwagon because it's the bandwagon. Like, really. Alright, so I'm not like saying anything bad, just relax. Everything's fine by the looks of it. And yeah, cool. I hope this helps some way and enjoy. And don't forget to check our website as well as anything that we have on sale. We will be hopefully doing back to school sales on notebooks and tablets. So yeah, come check us out. Cool. One take guys say enjoy.